Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'm here, as always, with Marcus Bazzano, another Aussie fan that is sad. How you going, Marcus? Are you still up and about after the Aussies being eliminated?
Calm as a Afghanistan.
Oh, bang!
There we go.
The cheaters. Oh.
We won't label them cheaters. They had a good tournament,
Yep.
but, you know, they got what they deserved.
They got that. I don't know. They had a really good tournament.
And it was great. They ate a piece of humble pie and scored we'll get into it, but the lowest ever World Cup knockout score.
Jeez, I did not think that's how you were going to start, but that is you're just up and about. You're a bit of a roller coaster since Afghanistan possibly faked an injury the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, who cares about Afghanistan, really?
South Africa got through, which we'll get into. T20 World Cup fever. We're going to wrap up the first semi-final, which was very exciting. Well, for one team, it was very exciting. And then the final two matches. Only two more matches in the entire tournament to go, which is very sad.
Well, it has felt like it's gone for ages.
It has felt like it's gone for ages. The fact that there's been two group stages is they might need to rejig, but they just think about the money always. They always think about the money. All right, before we start, make sure you get around this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Subscribe and like the YouTube. What are we up to now, Marcus?
9-10.
9-10. Road to 1,000, we said at the start of the tournament. So we're praying, not praying. I reckon we're going to get to 1,000 by the end of the tournament.
90 more by the end of the week.
Yeah, easily get there. All right. Bit of news before we get into the nars and the game wraps. South Africa, which we're going to touch on, finally reach a final.
Hey.
They've choked so many times in World Cups and Champions trophies and lots of different things.
Yep.
They've finally reached a final, Marcus.
Finally, obviously, infamous Herschel Gibbs.
Yes.
Drop catch. He obviously took
Dropped
it, went
the
to
World Cup.
celebrate, and then
Then stuffed it. Yeah, so we'll get into that in the nars. Another one is Rashid Khan was fined for throwing his bat at his teammate. That's still one of the funniest things that happened in that
was
crazy
great.
match the other day.
I love that.
His teammate obviously didn't run for two. Rashid Khan throws his bat at him.
If he didn't back it up with that 100-meter six off the last ball, then you're sort of like, what are you doing, Rashid?
I reckon the fine should have been bigger if he didn't hit a six the next ball because
Yes.
he proved that he should have been on strike.
I think Gulbiden should have got a fine for doing a stage 4 hammy in slip.
Yeah, and then bowling and sprinting and
do a 40-meter sprint.
Yeah, that's still we've been copying a lot of hate on TikTok for that. So check out our TikTok and socials because a lot is happening on there at the moment. We are going off. We've done some kit rankings, team rankings.
Yeah, show us some love. We need it. After a lot of
I actually love it. Bring on the hate. It's actually refreshing.
Yeah,
I've been going through the comments. 1,000 comments on one of them just of hate. Love to see it.
Brilliant.
But yeah, we also need some love. Other news: David Warner. Absolute legend of Australian cricket. Love him or hate him, he has been a superstar in all three formats.
Yep.
Obviously started in T20. People said, I don't know if he can play Test. Dominated in Test. Dominated in one-dayers.
Yep.
And he's played his final game.
Arguably one of Australia's best ever players across all three formats, if not the best across all three formats.
I'm trying to have a think of who else would be up there. Steve Smith, but not in 2020.
Hayden, but he didn't really play many 2020s. Gilchrist again, same thing.
Yeah.
So...
Actually, I'm going to get up his stats. So he averaged in tests 45, ODIs 45, and T20s 34. Anything over 30 in T20.
Impressive.
Very, very good. He's got, we'll just go T20s because we're in the T20 World Cup. 28 50s, 100, so many, 122 sixes, just an absolute beast.
And he's been doing it in the IPL as well, let alone not even for Australia. So
we should see him in the IPL. I'm not sure what his contract is, but I'm guessing he's still going to be hanging around in the IPL the next couple of years for that bag.
Or at least in the Big Bash Hill feature. So we'll get to see him on home soil.
Yeah, so cheer on him. And I saw a photo he posted yesterday. He's passing the baton on to Jake Fraser McGurk, the rooster, which
cute.
It was a bit cute. They had a beer together yesterday. Well, Fraser McGurk wasn't having a beer. He was having I don't know what it was. A whiskey and dry, which we don't mind.
So it was still alcohol.
He was having a drink with Davey Warner, and he's posted a photo, passing on the baton.
Yeah, please reply to us, Fraser McGurk.
Yeah, we need him on the show. Good call, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, he always watches, so he'll be on here soon. All right. Yeah, we just touched on South Africa. They are now into their first ever World Cup final, which South Africans are the Proteas. They're up and about. They haven't lost a game.
Broken the drought.
This is the for today. Will South Africa win their first ever World Cup?
It's so hard to go because it's a one-off game. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
For the vibes, we'll go
You going
For the vibes, yeah, why not?
Oh, all right.
Why not? Like, assuming India win tonight at the time of recording, then South Africa-India final.
Ooh.
Or actually, I fancy South Africa to beat England, and then against India. India notoriously crumble in finals, but is this the time to win one? I'm
going to go because I do think India are going to make it through and go all the way. But if England somehow beat India, I would back South Africa. I think they've been a lot more consistent. I know we've said South Africa have only just got over the line, but they haven't lost. We haven't probably given them enough credit. Now they're in the final.
Yeah, is it sort of like, it's a weird reference, but Portugal when they won the Euros. They weren't great in the group
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. And they've never really
They
won
scraped
anything.
through.
Yeah, yeah.
And haven't really won anything before.
Who's the Ronaldo of South Africa's cricket team?
Currently, in the current South Africa team,
Shamsi with the ball.
De Kock, I guess.
De Kock probably, yeah.
He's probably the
Older guy.
Older veteran that's been around for ages and one of the better players. I don't know.
Rabada.
You think of in the past, like a Jacques Kallis, like how did he not win a World Cup?
I know, AB de Villiers, how's he not won a World Cup? There's been a lot of South African greats that will be so happy. I'm sure, I reckon they'll be there actually.
Yeah.
Because South Africa just haven't made it to a World Cup final. They probably deserve a World Cup with all the great players they've had.
I think so. Yeah. I think they used to not be a likeable team back in the 90s and early thousands, but
very likable.
They're very likable now.
Hashim Amla is one of my favourite players ever. I'm just thinking of all the random South African players. AB is Leo's favourite player ever.
I love Morne Morkel.
Oh, Dale Steyn. Oh, bring him back. Should they just bring him back for the final? Bring back
Jared,
Dale
we're in. Let's do some Stumples. Let's go.
Stumples. We're doing Stumples again.
Check us out on socials to see Stumple.
We did a Stumple.
We got a guest cricket player.
If there was a South African player on the Stumple, we'd be all over it.
That'll be out on Saturday, but we also have Stumples already on our page.
Yes. All right. Talking about South Africa, getting into the game wraps, the first semi-final, Afghanistan taking on South Africa. Afghanistan were up and about after just scraping past Bangladesh. They were so excited. And then what did you do, Afghanistan? You got bowled out for the lowest knockout score ever.
Yeah.
56.
Fair margin as well.
56. They even batted 11 overs.
Well, as soon as Gurbaz got out for a duck,
yeah, you're cooked.
they were on the ropes.
Yeah, we've said that throughout this whole tournament. The openers have dominated. Zadran and Gurbaz have dominated. And as soon as they go out, you're like, ooh, none of these guys are going to make past 10 or 20.
Yeah, no, I think the highest run scorer was 10.
For the match?
For Afghanistan.
Jeez.
Extras was actually the top run.
Wides and no balls.
Oh, was it? Let me double check. You keep yapping.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, so then, that's all I'll do. Afghanistan bowled out for 56. Then South Africa make it in, I think it's 8.5 overs. They went 1 for 60. Who actually went out from the South African side? I need to double check that.
For South Africa,
because
De Kock went out.
Well, De Kock should be almost dropped.
5 of 8.
The only wicket that they lost was De Kock, and he's supposed to be their captain.
He made 5 of 8, but he was like the 4th highest run scorer across the entire game with 5 runs.
That is crazy.
I just confirmed extras did top score.
For Afghanistan.
13 extras.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I think Marco Jansen bowled about 6 wides or something in his first 2 overs. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
But yeah, the highest run scorer was 10 runs.
That's not good. South Africa obviously win by 9 wickets. We'll get into some of the bowlers. My man, Shamsi, he talks the talk and he's been walking the walk the last 3 matches. I think the last 3 matches he's got 3+ wickets. I put him on the Cricket Today social stories. So check out some stories over the weekends of, you can do polls and things like that on Cricket Today AU Instagram especially.
Yes.
I put him up. I thought he was going to get 3 wickets. He did. 3 for 6 off 1.5 overs. He was dominant. And then the quicks were just amazing at the start.
The quicks at the start. They were truly on the ropes. They were already 4, 5 wickets down before Nortje even bowled a ball.
That's crazy. Because Rabada and Jansen were on fire.
Rabada and Jansen got the wickets early.
Yep.
Rabada was 2 for none off his first over. Ridiculous figures.
Crazy.
But yeah, when you're 3, 4, 5 down and here comes Nortje bowling 150s.
150, I know.
You're in trouble.
He's the last player you'd want to... Is he the most scariest bowler to face right now? Yeah, I think he is. Because he's a bit more consistent than Archer and Wood, I think, in this tournament. Bumrah is pretty scary, yeah. And all the scariest bowlers in the world, I think, are all still in the World Cup, which is something to say. I don't know, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, Shamsi, I think he ended up getting player of the match with his 3 for 6, I believe. And then the batters didn't have to do that much at all, making only 56.
Yeah, so. Shamsi snuck up to 11 wickets for the tournament.
Yeah, awesome. He's been a really good bowler. Their whole bowling cartel is just so good. You got 3 really, really good quicks. Shamsi's been one of the best spinners.
Yep. And then Rabada and Nortje are both above Shamsi with 13 and 12, respectively.
So they've dominated with the ball. Yeah. They've been the best. I think they're definitely the best bowling cartel in the T20 World Cup, I think. Maybe other than Afghanistan before this game. India are very good. They're very good as well, aren't they? Ashdeep Singh's on fire.
But South Africa, I don't know. They've got that underdog status about them, which as Australians, we love.
Yeah. So no matter what from here, I'm supporting South African, the Proteas, just because I don't want England or India to win. No way.
Yeah, no.
They've won enough
We're
trophies.
Definitely on board South Africa here.
They've won enough trophies. All right, so South Africa goes through to the final. Before we get into the next semi-final, some tipping results. Both still on 36 because I forgot to put my tips in. But I would have tipped Afghanistan anyway because I thought they were going to continue their momentum over South Africa, but they didn't win, obviously. So
they did not, and I think we'll both Going to tip India?
Yep. Getting into that. Before I say that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're still on that road to 1,000, so we're going to get there. By the weekend, I'm telling you, we're going to get there. Please. All right. Semi-finals.
Yep.
The second one, India versus England. Let's start off with a standout player. We'll go each team because it's a massive semi-final. Okay. These are two of the most exciting teams. You take out Australia, these are two of the most exciting teams in the world with the amount of depth and batting depth, bowling depth and things like that. Standout player for India. Who do you reckon, Marcus?
I'm going to go with Kuldeep.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go Kuldeep Yadav because I think he's that spinner that they rely on so much. He's their primary spinner in that squad, and especially on these sorts of decks, he's going to be influential. And then on the England front, it's Adil Rashid, who's the number one
spinners,
2020 bowler in the world. Obviously, another spinner. Hasn't been great, I'd say, throughout this tournament. Been a little bit quiet. He has taken wickets.
He has been pretty economical, but not taking as many wickets as they would have liked. So he has to take some wickets in this one, I think.
Yeah, 100%. He's not even in the top. He hasn't taken double-figure wickets. He's not in the top 15.
Surprising.
So Adil Rashid is probably, from an England point of view.
Don't mind that. I'm going to look at some batters, I think. I'm going to go India. Rohit Sharma. I know that's an obvious pick. He made 92 last game, but I feel like we haven't talked about him enough. There were some comments bagging us saying we said top 10, and they were like, no, he is the best player. I think he's the David Warner of India, as in the 3 formats.
Yeah.
He's probably their best. Is he their best ever 3 format player, maybe, other than Kohli, I'd say? Or is that that's a big call? But
that's actually a really hard debate. You'd have to let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Who would you pick in all 3 formats? Don't be biased or don't pick. Oh, but in Tests, Kohli did better.
One day is definitely Kohli, I think.
Yeah, Tests,
Kohli. And then T20s is pretty even.
Saying that, it's Kohli.
I think it's just Kohli, but Rohit Sharma should be right up there. So I'm going to say him. I think he's going to make at least a 50 here.
To even be in the conversation with Virat Kohli is just speaks how good of a cricketer he is.
Absolutely. And then England, who am I going to go? I'm going to go Josh Buttler. He hasn't been amazing in this tournament, but I think he has lifted in finals before. So I'm going to go, you're going the 2 spinners. I think the 2 main batters are going to be Rohit Sharma and Josh Buttler.
Well, Josh Buttler has an average of 47.75 in this tournament.
Oh, okay.
Surprisingly, with 191 runs, he's
a few not
7th
outs
in the run column.
He's had a few not outs because they've had to make scores like under 50.
Yeah,
and under 60.
When they rolled
Uganda and things like that. So that helps. But he's had a pretty good tournament.
Yeah. And his opening partner, Phil Salt, is not far behind him as well.
Actually, he could have a big game. All right, winner. I think we're both going India here.
I think so.
They've got more bowling. I think it's going to come down to the bowling depth.
Yep.
I'd be taking Kuldeep Yadav's form over Rashid. I'd be taking Arshdeep Singh and Bumrah over Wood and Jofra Archer. That's why I'm leaning towards India. Same as you.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. You hit the nail on the head. I think India's bowling is a lot better than England's batting if you juxtapose those two. So.
Oh, that's a big word.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't get a bachelor in communications for nothing.
Yeah. Must have been pretty important. Oh my God, that's funny. I think you need to take off that bachelor of communications.
My communication struggle.
All right, if we're both going India in this one, then we're saying it's a South Africa versus India final, which I don't think anyone would have predicted. A lot of people would have picked India, but no one would have picked South Africa to make it. Who are we going in this one? Quick final prediction. Who's going to win?
I have no idea. I'm
Well,
going to have to do a bat flip. Hold up.
We're doing a bat flip. I actually like that. They do this in the Big Bash for when they're instead of doing a coin toss. You got the Big Bash bat there.
Flat side.
Flats is
the wide camera, Gerald. Flat side. We'll go with India.
You're supposed to analyze the game, not just 50-50.
This is what the show's all about.
I like it. Oh, it changed. South Africa's going to win the World Cup. You've heard it here first. So it's Roofs?
It's Roofs.
South Africa are going to win the World Cup.
The 2020 World Cup.
I was actually going to pick India, but I trust the bat.
Bat's spoken.
The bat has spoken. The bat has spoken.
There you go.
That could be the best thing that I've ever seen on the show. All right. South Africa's going to win the World Cup. Yep. Indian fans, I don't know.
Put your house on it.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I think India's going to win, but the bat has spoken. So it's like the octopus from the World Cup in, was it 2014 or something like that in the FIFA World Cup? Do you remember the octopus that used to pick the winners? It picked that winner.
It will be 2016. There wasn't a World Cup in 2014.
That's what it would have been, 2016. Anyway, that's done for the Cricket Today show. I'm calling it. South Africa are going to win the World Cup, apparently. We'll be back with this next week for a huge final wrap, which will be very exciting. And I can't believe the T20 World Cup's going to be done. It's going to be very sad. To get right around the show, send in any questions. Keep the comments coming. Love or hate, we just love the comments. So keep them coming. Thank you very much, Joe, behind the camera. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Stats Guy. Very good one.
Thank you. Thanks to me, and that's another episode of Cricket Today done. All right.
If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today network, from the AFL Today show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.